Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. You're watching the Transport Fever 2 Mainline, as I'm sure you've probably gathered. And last time around, we got mucking around with some electricery to try and, zest things up a little bit as we created a bubble out the other side of Ironforge to grab various resources that people may find beneficial, useful and or likeable, or something. Not entirely sure where I'm going with this. Now, I'm tracking along, quite badly, but I am tracking along, one of the bubble trains. It's just what I'm calling them for now, who knows. Just so that we can see sort of what sort of action it's getting. And some is the answer. What have we got on board here? 24 iron, bit of steel, 3 bricks. Super. Oh, look at all the business. Lots of business going on here. That's nice to see. So it's not quite kicking along as merrily as one might have hoped. Not yet, but it will do, and we're going to assist in that with today's project. Today's project is going to be, look at all this. That's great. Right, yeah. So here is the bubble that we created last time round, out via Sunnydale. Goes around the perimeter here, and before snaking its way back up to hit the main line again at Mos Eisley. So I've got 2 kind of routes that I want to get done early. I want to build an oil line that runs from the already in use Sunnydale oil well out to the refinery and plastics factory here. Yes. Yeah, you know you've got a train that already comes out here. I think I might just hijack it, you know. We might cancel that line and, because, where does it go? Hold on, we'll bring it up. There's loads of oil on there. It goes all the way out to Camberwick Green, which is marvellous, and it allows Camberwick Green to benefit from this oil. But frankly, they're not producing anything from it here, are they? They're not. No. Well, let's stuff them. Yeah, exactly. Stuff them. We'll nick this train, and we'll chuck it up around here instead, and then probably add a friend to that line. So that we can do one run that just goes up to... do you think? No, hold on, I don't think. Wait. Get on with it. Right, okay, will do. It's all right, I've done some calculating and it's all made sense in my head now. So, here we are. Yeah, how do you want to do this? Quickly is the answer. Okay, all right, yeah. Just put a little bit of that in there. Now, are we going... No, I'm hijacking a steam train. So this doesn't need to be electrified. Oh, cunning. Okay, all right, fine. And what? Single track will suffice? I think single track actually will suffice. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, no, smashing. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, good. I'm all right too. So this will be... Is that the right approach? Yes, it is. This will be relatively self-contained, and then the idea is that I'll stick a train that goes up towards the loop that comes to make the pickup here. Now, the thing is, do I want that to be... Yeah, no, I do. What I was questioning, sorry, I'm rather in my own thought process, and usually I'm vocalising a little more of this. What I want is... zoom out so you can see it. I'm going to have one line, that's it, talk through the plans, one line that goes these 3 merry pilgrims here down to the lumber mill. Will one lumber mill support 3? I believe one lumber mill will support 2. That's true. Yeah. All right, well in that case, let's do those 2 back down to here. And then so it just ping-pongs that way, because what you'll end up with is lumber that will get picked up by the bubble. I then want another line that I will run up from the freight hub at Sunnydale over to... I'm now rethinking the lumber line. Flipping heck, I am in my head this morning. No, right, I could do this and then run that train with lumber up to here, whereas leaving it on the loop would mean that I'm much more likely to A, fill the loop train, but B, have too much left over so that the loop train can't actually help. Yeah. And therefore I'm wondering whether a designated run back that perhaps hooks round so that this goes in just a circuit would be better. I don't think there's anything to be gained there, so we'll go with plan A, which is a straightforward little L-shaped job, just to do that. Okay, right, and then we'll have another line that runs up to there, all the way down here, and into the station. All right, and that's going to be pretty much nothing but pickups. So we'll do. This will be the first stop, then pick up, drop off. Okay, yeah, good. And then we'll do another one out here, which will go. How far will it go? Maybe out to. Well, we'll have a line that goes out to Zion, and that will be Zion's freight delivery system. So that will work quite nicely. And then one more that grabs all of this lot and comes in. Another one here, possibly. I might wait till the main line gets around the corner for that. So, in this first instance, we're just hooking up round here, onto there, and then back again. And then the main line that I'm going to do, or the longer line that I'm going to do afterwards, will grab the plastic that we've generated and bring it back to the station. Everyone clear now? I'm certainly clearer than I was 2 minutes ago, so let's call that a victory, hollow though it may be. All right, crack on. Yeah, okay. Cracking on. No need to do anything complex with this. Just slap it all together, and we'll all be. Whoa! What's this? What's this bridge business? Well, one imagines it's because of the landscape around this area. Well, that's no, unacceptable. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to build the terrain up to work in my favour. Because we're not at home to Johnny Big Bridge. Not right now. I mean, Johnny is occasionally welcome, but I would sooner that he, stayed in his lane. Okay, alright, there you are. That's good. Yeah. Smashing. Alright, yeah. Yes, that's... looking at it from this angle, you kind of go, oh yeah, that's worked out perfectly. If I were to now change the angle and look at it from below, you might go, that's a bit weird. But we'll just hope that that's not the case. Right, you start going downhill, because evidently that's going to be needed. That said, if we stay higher up, then the curvature of the planet is going to work in our favour a little. So we can keep this moderately slow while going downhill, and then with a little bit of that, you've still got Billy Big Bridge. No, I haven't, see. I've mitigated it. All right, it's not elegant, but it will do, and that's fine. That's totally fine as far as I'm concerned. Okay, right. So next job is going to be hijack this train, which is currently creeping its way along here, and instead of doing anything particularly complex, we're just going to change the route. So at the moment you're going from Sunnydale. Oh, I see you've got the default town name. Cheeky blighter. We'll go from here. It's going to go, what? Wait, what? What's going on? From Sunnydale, add station. Yes. Here. Yeah, Lower Camberwick Green, allegedly. You know what? Stick this on your second lap jobs. Let's change the name of these. Stations, that is. Every station should have a name befitting its purpose in life. Yeah, no, I heartily agree. Right, there we go. That's now hooked up, ready to go, and it's already started going, oh no, yeah, I can totally make oil work for you that way, Governor. So that's all good. All we need here is to give this a name that makes sense. So I think we will call it Sunnydale. And then I guess it's oil plastic production. Plastic production. Probably. Well, that's alliteration. Oil plastic production, probably. That's what that one's called. Right, okay, on to step 2. All right, step 2 will be to grab the winnings that we've got here from the chemical plant at Zion and bring them on in. How do you want to do that? Neatly? Okay, all right, okay. Well, neatly's a thing. First off, let's excommunicate enough road to make this operation viable. Yeah. Still not sure where we're going exactly, but this bit of road, that's definitely not going to make the cut. Whether I'm going through here as a result of doing the L-shaped thing down the bottom there, obviously it's inverted. You've got to do some rotational stuff on it. Yes, you're fine. Question is, which platform are we going to make use of? Train's coming in. Look, hey. So, well, think it through. Top track would be the one to go this way if you were going to do one that way. Why? All right, maybe it isn't. No, actually, I think top track is the one that we want to use now, which is the one that's going on this Merry Odyssey. So, the other thing, probably to keep in mind, we will electrify this, because this will be quite a nice route to stick a crocodile on. Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind... Yes, what's that? I can't remember. I would say, wow, what's wrong with you today? I don't know. I genuinely couldn't tell you why the physics of my mind are wrong. Okay, well look, there's Billy Big Bridge again, and we're not at home to him. So have a look at it by eye. It's just a little bit uphill, not even very much. Yeah, all right, okay. So I think you've probably gone on a bum steer there by having that go uphill. So don't have it go uphill. Okay. Oi, you, stop going uphill. There you go. Stay on the flat, and then everything should work out. There is, to say that there is a chance that we'll be redeveloping the junctions that are about to occur, I think that's a given. All junctions are likely to be done. This was the consideration that I needed, though, was it's very possible I'm going to need more than one train running this. So I'm going to double track it from the get-go. You sure? It's not going to have that much output. You could just do it's going to have to be a NAFI's consist you send up this way anyway. True. No, what's going to happen is you're going to run your train up to grab plastic. It will grab what plastic there may be, and then it will stop at a coal mine where it will fill up with coal. Yes. And then this nice wood camp thing that you've got here, it's never going to get picked up at all. All right, it's okay. I've got a plan B. Okay, what's that? The wood camp will be a different line, but so we'll have this do 2 stops, because the scenario I just described is ideal. There being that we pick up the plastic and then top off the train with coal. That to me sounds like efficiency. Okay, all right. Because the one thing I know for almost absolute certainty is that coal mine is going to pump out as much coal as it possibly can, and we'll have no trouble at all in filling the train. Right, you need some station configurating. Right, yeah. Pause them on up there, because we've got to go electric track. I tried using the magic wand on the track, and it doesn't magic wand station track, because station track is not regular track. It is station track, and therefore it is different and superior in a multitude of ways. There may be another method of doing it, but this is quick enough, so I'm not that fussed. There we go. Right. That should not be broken. Given that it's single track, you would kind of go, I'm sure you can figure it out, train, exactly what's going on there. Right, we'll reverse angle this one and fling it back in the direction it came from. And then I'll get some signals on there as well, because they're going to be not so much needed as just... Actually, I'm not even certain we're going to need them at all. It's two single track setups going on. Yeah, so just put a little, two-way signal on each side. There you are. That's just to prevent the train waiting at the previous station, which it's quite possible it will try and do. And then everything will be groovy. Right, onwards. Okay, Now, it all being well, this level of productivity that we're getting here, I bet you didn't electrify that station, did you? Not as such, no. Now, all being well, we're going to rattle through this in the next kind of 5-10 minutes to get these lines set up, and then I'll set the trains in motion, because I can smell the end of the line. You see, the mainline end, it's coming up. I think, put a number on it. 5, maybe 5 more episodes that are involved in mainline extension, and we'll be there. That's an important caveat, you see, because obviously I've got some passenger stuff to do. Maybe some truck stuff to do as well. Maybe I'll sling in an episode of just watching things do stuff. Don't know. But either way, we're very close to the completion of lap 1. And that's a very exciting moment, because I'm eager to get lap 2 underway. Because I've got ideas and stuff for things that I want to do with the things that I've already built. Not least of all, tidy them up, increase the capacity, and run more stuff down it. You know what you would be better off doing here? What? Bulldozer station. It's just going to be quicker for you to place a whole new station. Alright, it's not like you haven't got the money, and it's not like it would be the first time that you've wasted a colossal amount of cash on something that you've deleted 5 seconds later. Right. Except they give you a refund these days. Yeah, I know, I've complained about that in the past, just kind of going like, look, if you spent it wrong, and I'm one of the main offenders for this, if you built the wrong thing, you should be punished for that. You should have to suffer that you lack the attention to detail necessary to make something work first time. When you end up placing a passenger version rather than a freight version 6 times in a row, one's bank balance should be smited. Smitten? No, definitely smited. Right, there we go. That's a line. It is set. That is plastics. Well, I'll set the game back in motion. We've got some oil being produced here, but I don't imagine that this chap has yet got to the point where it's carrying any of it. You carrying any of it? 1. Okay, good times. But you made $1 million from the drop-off, so that's a good place to start. Right, let's set this route in motion. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to create the junction back to the depot. Details, work on it in a moment. But we can certainly get the route going. Right, so that up here, bit of this. No, we didn't. We're not stopping there. Oh yeah, all the way up to this end. Yeah, this. Splendid. What the heck is this one called? Well, it's a Sunnydale line again. Yeah, and it's not bringing lumber. It's bringing coal and plastic. This feels like there's some synergy going on there. Coal, yeah, plastic, supply. I mean, what more is there to say than that? Not a lot, I would say. That's probably about enough. Now, I don't know. I don't know if the crocodile's been released yet. I think it has. Either way, I think no, I haven't got the clock running at the moment. But no, I'm sure it's fine. Really, you're just gonna wipe your hands on your pants and say, that's it, fine. It's all good. No, you're fretting about nothing. Right, I'm going to try and just do a cascade junction here to try and make sure that everybody can get to the depot. But I think I'm going to run out of space pretty quickly. I don't know, try it. See how you get on. All right, and that's 4. I don't think you're getting much further than this. No, you might have to do a separate branch. It's too much curvature, you see. Shame. Well, I mean that's worked out. Yeah, I mean it's not beautiful or anything, but it's done enough to get the job done. Is there space enough here to grab another one? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. It is very unlikely. No, you see, look, that's the set of points. All right, well, here. Very, very unlikely. Yeah, all right, okay, go back to the gap. No, you're going to have to go from here. Oh, okay. Hang on, wait. What's your problem? Construction's not possible. Yeah, probably is possible. You're probably just making a fuss. Why are you giving me the word here? Surely I can grab something from there and just peel off like that. See? That seems to be working. It was simply a question of perspective. I changed its perspective, and all of a sudden it went, "Oh yes, Governor, I see what you want." Right, around here, yeah, and then we'll run one like that. Now, all of this. Forget this depot-related shenanigans that we've got going on here. That will need to be addressed, especially if I do decide to do something majestic with this lumber setup. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, see, my bubble trains are already getting a bit confused. They're dropping stuff all over the place. They do that, but the mainline does it as well. And while it might be somewhat beneficial because it means that I earn more than I should do by bits of freight just being dropped off and randomly distributed, it's not what I want. Right, Croxy, let's go. 1 times Croxy, yeah. Cargo to the naffies, please. You sure? Yeah, flat cars don't do plastic. If they did, I'd just go all flat car all the time. And no, I'm not going to do a split consist because that's not going to work for me. Well, actually, you don't want state cars. You want gondolas. Yeah, I know. No. All right, go with this. How many are we taking? Oh, give me a 144. Looks good to me. One of those. Beautiful. And deploy that on the Sunnydale oil plastic production. No, coal plastic supply. Ain't that the truth? There you go. All right. First crocodile into operation. Unless it starts complaining because it hasn't got a route because some of it's not made of electricity. There we go. Hello, you jolly green beast. Lovely to have you with us. I hope you fare well. I don't mean farewell. Well, obviously do farewell. But get back to work. Right then, one more setup for today, and then we'll leave it some evaluation time. And I think it's going to be this wooden enterprise of which I spoke recently. Now, the obvious opportunity we've got here, hello over there, is we run a line that comes from Johnny Lumber here, uses what is effectively the main line for the bubble, swings off onto the outside platforms. Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. You're going to have to completely remodel all of this, and you only just built it, and it was a bit of a pain. Before then what? Before then, hooking around, coming in this way, and then all the way around and just get back on. That would kind of work, I guess. It would kind of work. It's just it's the junction, both sides of the freight hub here that are going to prove to be tricky. Yeah, but tricky is my middle name, so let's give it a go. Right, we'll go with 160 on this. Might as well electrify, and it's going to be single track. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. What are you going to do on this bit here? Well, there's a question for you. No, there's a question for you. Well, that's a question for both of us. Let's have a look. Now, do I double track it, or with the judicious application of a couple of signals? Yeah, I think you're going to need to double track it. That's certainly possible, but we can lay out what we need right now, and then at least we'll have a shape of the line that we can then work with. Yeah, this is actually going to work out reasonably nicely. Right, yeah, no, roads, where we were going, we don't need roads and all that kind of business. Get rid of some of that. Give me another station, please. Thank you. No, you were okay. Yeah, no, I just pushed the wrong button. Oh, yeah, I mean, that almost never happens. Yes, I know. Right, on there? Yeah. I'm not sure that tendrilled. It did. Okay, it didn't look like it did. Right, yep, there. Onwards. And a bit more track. And down to here. Yeah. That's good. All right. Lots of vehicles are terrible. You're terrible. And then work this around the outside here. Now, we'll keep this curve relatively shallow, so we're not adding extra space in without halfway decent reason. What do we think about this bridge? Well, I think two things. I think, firstly, we could probably get away without it, so embankment. Secondly, I quite like it. Thirdly, because there is a thirdly, we don't need it. Oh? Yeah, no, I noticed that was going slightly uphill. If we make that not go slightly uphill, I bet this whole thing just happens on the flat, you see? So if you stay on your primary level here, which it does seem to be doing, yes, then I don't think we get a bridge. Okay, all right. So then we come round here, hook back onto this route, and everything is everything. All right, give it enough space. Yeah, this is going to work, but again, it's just the junction. The junction is where this is going to come unstuck. I think there's another place this is going to come unstuck. Now look, if I can do that angle, I can get onto this line. Might not be able to get onto it very quickly, but I can get onto it. There you go, like that. Okay, I'm not sure I approve. What's to approve of? It works. Yeah, well, I mean, you've got catenary sitting all over the place, just kind of going, I'm just an electric pole, I don't know what to tell you. So, you know, there is that. You're going to want one of those. You're going to want one of those. And then we'll put in some kind of, that's it, just to allow the queuing to occur. And then what? Well, therein lies the question, really. How would you go about doing that? Well, you delete the whole thing and set it up to do it properly. I want to do it fast. Never mind properly. We'll come back and do it properly. Now, the ideal would be some kind of... Oh, hold on. We've got option 2 here. Are you slipped by any chance? Yeah. Okay, there is an option 2. All right, we can come off this, swing on over here, and just get on there somewhere. If it does this first time, you don't deserve it. I never deserve it, but that doesn't mean I don't get it. No, you're not getting it this time, sunshine. You've got too many sets of points in the way down here. It's never going to allow you to overlap that. I could do an up and over. No, we're not going to let you do an up and over either. Okay, all right. Well, hold on. No, space is what you're going to need. Ah, okay. Try... this is wacky. Try this. Yeah, that does what? Absolutely nothing. Gets you onto exactly the same line you're already on, you clown. All right, okay. Well, can we get onto this one? Yes, you can. All right. Well, look, do that for the moment, because that takes us as far as platform 3. Yeah, it doesn't take us any further than that. Okay. But if we stick a set of points in here, there are people watching this right now who are just crying. They're just going, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Why do I watch this? Right, and then, so I've got platform 4 at my disposal. We can then route that onto here. And that also possibly helps with the points assignment, the signalling assignments that I was thinking of. Well, okay, well that's baffling. It's woeful, people, okay? It is completely awful. The reason that I'm just smashing this in rather than rebuilding the junction now is I don't know what else I'm going to do with that junction. So what I want in the first instance is the functionality. Junctionality? Functionality. And then later on, once I've got all the routes lined up in there, then I'll know, okay, I need to get this here and that there. And let's not forget, the depot's the cause of the majority of this problem. I could just delete the depot. I don't need it. I could move it to anywhere I like. So I'm leaving this as it's a bird's nest kind of a mess here, but it will work. He says, right, let's do it. Right, so we're going to go this, yeah, that, yeah, this, yeah. Ah, no, I thought we weren't stopping at Sunnydale. Oh, good point. Yeah. Yeah, just do it as a through route. Just do it as a through route. Right, so after south, we then stop at that one. All right, has it... Yeah, it's figured out the route. Well, of course it has. I mean, you know, that I do know how to set up a route. But you are running empty and you are running past where this stuff needs to be dropped off. You know what? I'm going to give it the choice. I'm going to give it the choice which way it wants to go. So from south, we will stop at Holt, and then from Holt, we will stop at Branch. This is why I need to rename these stations. Why don't you just rename them as you go? Don't know what I'm doing yet. Right, so Sun, this is just going to be the lumber line. Because that's all it does. It lumbers, and therefore it is. Now, brace yourselves for joy, friends. Two things. Firstly, this one's always going to run forwards. I know, that's a miracle in itself. And then secondly, I'm going to use lumber wagons. Because that will do it for me. Cargo, right. What's the best lumber wagon you've got? That's a state car. That's the Naffies. Yeah, I know. I was being amusing. Oh, is that what you call it? Right. Get going with some of this. Now, we don't want this one to be too long. I think an 80? No. I think 157 meters. Meters I'm talking about. The stations are 160, so a 169 is probably about your limit. Okay, do it. All right, you work. Get to. So our lumber line. Tally, flaming ho. Right, okay, so here is, we have an opportunity here to see what's coming in. All right, you are bringing me 12 plastic and 7 coal. I would imagine there's more available where that came from. Coal doesn't appear to have got the message yet. It's producing very slowly, but that's okay. Plastic, on the other hand, is coming along. 33 waiting, a little bit more to come. That's pretty good. How's the oil? 55. Yeah. And you, full load? You know it, bub. 120. Magnifico. Okay, right. So that's working. It's not working very well, but it is working. And then we've got our new lumber train coming in. Oh, smashing. Because all of this is absolutely essential to the operation of this bubble route, because right now the bubble route is costing me a fortune. I don't even want to look at how much money it's losing, other than it's a lot. But if I can just continue to funnel in additional resources, then we should be good. Just hope this croc doesn't decide to start picking up waifs and strays along the way, and we'll be golden. There you go. Let's get a face full of it. Alright. Is that the sort of face full you wanted? No. I mean, it's a nice shot, but it's not the right one. Alright, okay, what's the right one? I don't know, you might get quite a nice shot of it. Why is this all on fire? Nah, it's best not to look at it. You think you might get a nice one of it coming round this corner? Yeah, it's possible. See, your electrification clips through the camera, and that's not a good look. Nope. Yeah. All right, that's it for line development today. There we go. We got some loggy action waiting here. Why have we not got loggy action waiting here? Do you talk to each other? Yes, you do. Well, come on then. Start your production shipment of 7. Crack on, son. We don't have time for you to, go, oh, I really can't be bothered with it. How many did we get there? 2. Oh, good times. Yeah, maybe get a shake on. We can't afford for you. Well, we can. I've got 4.2 billion in the bank. I can afford for these things to lollygag as much as they like. Right, still remaining to do in this section is the Zion delivery route. Is that going to be standalone, or are you going to pick something up on the way back? TBC. And then some goods. Now you see, look, it would make sense if you were to go right, drop off plastic and steel, and then crack on this way to Zion, where they like the goods. Okay, you're all right. And then back her on up. What about this iron mine? And this iron mine. 2 iron trains come into the Zion freight hub. Oh, that's a thing now, is it? Yeah, along with this oil, they all wang into there. We then shuffle them back in the opposite direction to reload and repeat. Line 1. Okay, next line is going to be oil and grain. Oh, happy bedfellows they may be. Yes, almost certainly. We happy bedfellows, those two. Run them in here. Bosh, bosh. Job done. Any more for any more? Well, the only one that really remains would be a lumber route that heads up to the Minas Tirith sawmill. Yeah. Then, of course, we've got to bring in the quarry, but that's a dead easy route, that one. Yeah, hit the sawmill. Hit the sawmill. As they say, hit the sawmill. So how are you going to do that? That will be a point-to-point, just a shuttle between those two. But we don't stop there. Oh, I don't know. That's awkward. Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, coal's starting to fill up. Lots of plastic. Happy, happy. And then once it drops off on the circuit down here, that's going to keep that rolling. Loads of loads of stone going to the brickyard. Fabu. Yeah. This is going to fill. This route will fill up as much as the main line does, even though it's only a little short line. It's going to fill up dramatically. I mean, look at Ironforge. Look at the amount of stuff weighing Ironforge. It's ridiculous. I've been Colonel Failure, everybody. Yeah, no, interesting. There's just a lot to consider going on here. That last one's a puzzler, though. I don't know what the best thing to do with it is. What I don't want to do is go lumber, sawmill, Sunnydale, lumber. It's a neat solution, but I don't really want to do that. Why not? I don't know. Maybe I'll give it more consideration. What about lumber? The station here for the farm, what if you were to drop it there on the way back? And that way, your little line here could pick it up and run it back. There you go. That's what I'll do. They'll do that. That sounds like a winner. What I'm looking for here is a train that's running forwards. No, you had your opportunity, but you're running backwards. 44 and 23. Very nice. Oh, you're bringing some refined oil back as well. That's super. Well, it's all money. We'll take it. It's not making a lot of money, is it? No. But it is serving a greater purpose. I've been Colonel Failure. The very definition of greater purpose is me. And therefore, I will see you next time where the mission will continue. I hope you have a jolly return rest of the day. What are you talking about? I don't know. I need to go and start beating my head against something until something useful comes out. Okay. All right. I'll catch you next time. Cheerio. So today's outro comes from Hannes once again, who has asked a very simple question. This one, apparently, Wizio decided to chuck you €10, and you want to invest it in the most important topic: food. Okay. Could you please elaborate on how to make authentic Colonel Failure pancakes? Oh, okay. Now here's the thing. The word pancake means different things in different cultures, depending on where you are throughout the world. The recipe is not consistent, and therefore you might go, that's not a pancake, that's something else. To Americans, what I'm probably going to describe, and possibly the Dutch, is what I'm about to describe is probably a crepe. A crepe. To the French, they'll go, that's not a crepe, it's way too thick. But to you people that like to take your waffle batter and stick it in a waffle iron of some description, that's a waffle. It's not a pancake. Anywho, your terminology and mine are likely to differ, but this is, as far as Great Britain is concerned, and indeed the United Kingdom, this is what a pancake would constitute. So we're talking about, I should have bought a prop for this. Never mind, it's okay. Talk about a frying pan. All right, frying pan. So you're looking at about, what's that? That's about 45 centimetres across. Or let's say, what would that be? That'd be about 15 inches, give or take. All right, thereabouts, about 15 inches diameter. The frying pan. I like a lot of surface to play with. when making pancakes, right? That is the shape it's going to be. Thickness is going to be in the region of 2 to 3 millimeters. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but 2 to 3 millimeters is what we're aiming for. All right, that's your. If you haven't got that in your head to start with, oh, what's that in imperial? Oh, it's about 4 3/12 furlongs. All right, okay. Imperial's bloody stupid. The sooner we can all get away from it, the sooner we can all mature as a species. Anywho, we're never going to mature as a species. We're all too stupid. Stop being down on the human race. No, I'm pro-human. Sorry, I take all of that back. Pancakes. Pancakes are made using eggs, flour, milk. That's it. Nothing else is needed other than a little bit of oil for cooking purposes, but we'll get to that shortly. Eggs, flour, milk. You start out by putting your flour in the bowl, right? You need a mixing bowl of some description, and the size of the mixing bowl will be based on how much are you mixing in then. Yeah? Pretty straightforward. Now, my methodology is based on the breaking down of gluten strands. Herself, who, and I'm going to say it again because I say it every time, is from Yorkshire. And when I first met her, she used to make Yorkshire puddings using a packet mix of Yorkshire pudding mix. Oh, to say that there was ridicule involved is a massive understatement. The reason I reference Yorkshire pudding at this stage is because Yorkshire pudding batter, pancake batter, same thing, just a different end result. No, I'm not even kidding there, bruv, fam, whatever, yeah? I think my camera's in the wrong place, hang on. Yeah, it should be about there. Alright, so you put your flour, however much you want. Now, having taught her the recipe, she's mastered it now, and she goes into very precise measurements to get things absolutely spot on, whereas I do it by eye and by feel. Mine come out just fine, and maybe a little on the stodgy side, but I like them on the stodgy side, so that's all good. Flour, bunch of, bowl, right? Next, eggs. Now, the number of eggs you use is largely up to you. It's a personal preference thing. You need to experiment with the eggs, so you get as many as get your flavour where you want it to be. But fundamentally, the eggs are in there to help bind with the flour and then get the gluten doing the gluteny stuff. So you put one egg in at a time, mash it into the flour, give it a good solid mash around, add another one, until you get to the point where there are no floury bits left and you've got this kind of really sticky, pasty stuff that is not in a ball. I use a fork for this. This is a fork stage. You don't want a whisk or anything like no. Fork stage right now. Just mash it in, and you'll know you've got the right number of eggs when there's not a lot left to mash. And it's not glistening and sticky, because that's too much egg. And neither is there much floury residue kicking around. That's not enough egg. At that point, keep mashing away, putting a little trickle of milk, just a little trickle of milk. And keep mashing, mash away on it. Little trickle more milk, mash it away. And you do this on an ongoing basis until the whole thing has started to look like there's quite a lot of milk in there, and there's little floaty bits of unmashed for the sort of battery flour egg concoction. At which point you kind of go, right, I'm done with my fork. So you scrape the residue off the fork, because it will need scraping at this stage. Put the fork to one side, get out a hand whisk. Not an electric one, you lazy git. Use a hand whisk. And then just this kind of action, yeah, with the like that, yeah, but obviously lower down. You can do it like this if you want to, but I would say it's probably not the most easy way to do it. Bit of that, you can go the other way as well. I mean, mix it up. When your hand gets tired, other way around, you right-handers may struggle at doing things with both hands, but we left-handers have to struggle throughout life, and therefore we're good with both hands. I digress onto yet more left-handed propaganda. Once you've got the majority of the lumps in there, Then you get your whisk, you flick the bits off the end with a downward flick, see, so it ends up in the bowl. Put that to one side. Now you can go hand whisk if you can be bothered. It speeds up this last bit. Fizz it around a bit. Now, you know you've got the right amount of milk in when you lift it out and it slides down the old blendy bit there and drips off the end. But not quickly. Doesn't run straight off. That's too much milk. Way too much milk. It runs off the end. Just drip. A little at a time, drips off the end. Now, there is quite a lot of tolerance with regards to how runny it is. You want to go... this is, again, it's a personal experience. You've got to build up your capabilities in this regard. So you'll come up with, that's the right consistency. It should be a yellowy kind of a concoction that you've got going on in your bowl. And a few air bubbles here and there, but you don't really want too many. You're not whisking this for long. You beat it up too long, it's not going to work. It's just, and again, experience teaches you how much to do. Right? Anyway, once you've done that, cover it, ideally with something semi-porous. I use a tea towel, personally. Stick a tea towel over the top of it. If you're going to let it stand for more than half an hour, bang it in the fridge and do so. The temperature has a bit of an impact, but it's not massive, right? But you just want it to settle so that the air that you've put into it has a chance to settle and escape a little bit. Just makes it a little bit better. Right, let's prep the pan, shall we? Crank your cooker on to, I'm assuming we're using a hob for this, right? Burners, you might also call it. Gas is preferable, electric if you must, halogen if you've got no self-respect at all and really like something that was looking shiny to be scuffed up in about 30 seconds. So get it on there, get it nice and hot. In your pan, what you want, you can use vegetable oil, or you can use something like lard or any other high temperature oil. Butter, too low temperature. Don't use butter, it's not going to do the job. Get a good coating across the entire of the bottom of it, and then while it's still hot, get some paper towel, wipe it all out there. Your aim is to coat the bottom, but not so much as you see it. This is to aid the non-stick. But what you're not doing is you're not frying your batter. What you're doing is you're applying direct heat, but you don't want to infuse it with whatever fat you're using to make it work. Again, butter, wrong. No. Butter's got too low a boiling temperature. This isn't going to work for us here. So yeah, you're using like a vegetable oil, sunflower oil, a lard of some description. Anything along those lines will do you just great. Okay, now we retrieve the batter and you want a ladle. Ideally a ladle with a little spout on it, but you can make it work without one. If you haven't got a ladle, just wang it in. You'll be all right. Use a spoon, something like that. You go tippity tip 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 with your ladle. So you ladle it in like this, and you've got a pan there, and you put it in the middle, and then you roll it around to try and fill it out. One ladle's worth, pretty much almost brimmed off on a standard size ladle, which is about that, yeah, but not as deep. All right, about that, or thereabout. You can't use the claw to distribute. It just doesn't work. Once you've got that in there, you roll it around to fill it out. You don't want any thicker patches and thinner patches and stuff like that. And get that bad boy on the heat, right? And give it about 20 to 30 seconds and then start doing a back and forth motion. If you've greased your pan correctly, the pan should be well hot. Well hot. By the time you're wiping it off with a paper towel, you should be at risk of burning your hand. You do it quickly, you do a quick sweep round. Don't throw the paper towel away either. We'll be coming back to it. Keep that on the side. But this is all off the cuff, you see, so it's important that I get to all of it, right? Okay, so you've rolled it around, but now we're doing a little bit of back and forth because it's been in there long enough that if you grease the pan correctly, it will now start slipping back and forth in the pan. And you'll go, yeah, no spatula required if you've got it right. Bit of this action. All right, and then when the time comes, flip that bad boy. Now here's where you can use a spatula if you want to, but you won't need to. It should be able to slip back and forth in the pan before you try any kind of flipping motion, even if you're using a spatula. Right, the top side should basically be cooked. At which point, to flip a pancake, you slide it forwards quickly and give it a little flick at the end, and the pancake will do a nice delicate arc and land back down face down. It's a heck of a lot easier than you think it's going to be. Heck of a lot easier. Then it doesn't need much more than another 40 seconds, maybe a minute at the most, and that'll be done. Give it a second flip just because you can, and the kids are all impressed by that kind of action, but actually it's really easy. And kind of go, make sure you've got the right sort of colour both sides. Should be a golden tan. Very small elements of kind of a black coming in there is okay, but it should be a dark brown and not black. If it's got all the way to black, you've burnt it. But even then, it's got quite a high tolerance for that before it starts to taste wrong. Get it out, wang it on a plate. Pancake number one is done. Grab your paper towel, sweep round the pan once more. Still hot, so be quick. Back on the heat, another dollop. Let's rock. And we're off and we're rolling, okay? So that's your production line there. When the paper towel is no longer offering any good to anything, put a little bit more oil in. Don't leave any pancake residue in there, otherwise it will burn. And then you'll know that because you'll start to get dark smoke coming off it. You will get a very kind of very faint grey smoke, grey-brown smoke coming off it, just purely from the fat that you're using because you're working at quite a high temperature. What do you want to put in your pancake? You want to go traditional, squeeze of fresh lemon, teaspoon of sugar, roll it, munch, munch. You got any more? And alternatively, you can go savoury with it, where you will do effectively a shepherd's pie filling minus the mashed potato, and just stick a dollop of that in there, roll it up. You can't nom that because you've got beef and flipping carrots and all sorts dripping down your arms. No. Instead, cut it up. Goes magic with brown sauce, that as well. Ooh, bit of HP, magic. Yeah, so there you go. You can have it whatever you like. You could put flipping marshmallows in it if you want. I mean, pineapple and strawberries and all kinds of majestic business. But that fundamentally is it. Crepes, as far as the British is concerned, much thinner, and will have a little bit of sugar in the mixture itself. But the difficulty you have there is that the high temperature you're operating at has a very real possibility of burning while in the pan. So add the sugar afterwards. You want to use golden syrup? Go for your life. Treacle? Yeah, if you like. Personally, I think you can't really do much better than a bit of lemon and a bit of sugar. There you go. That's it. That's a pancake, that is. You see anybody using a pre-mixed pancake mixture on Shrove Tuesday, you push them out of the way in the kitchen and go, stand aside, I've got this. And this is how I learned to make pancakes, because my flatmate, when I was at university, did just that, and his pancakes came out rotten. Me and my best mate, who were stoner musicians, we went straight to the shop. We bought eggs, flour and milk. Neither of us had made pancakes before. We went, how hard can it be? Mixed it up, made pancakes. They were really good. Victory is mine. Yeah, so there are. What do you want to know? Nothing. That's what you want to know. You've got it all. Hannah's, thank you very much for your request. It was a delight to do. We got there eventually. Bon appetit.